Sure.
Okay. Blood. Got current safety.
And your first, our table of contents. First, what is blood? Blood disorders. We have a video on blood. Then we go to parts of blood cells, pictures, and then platelets, white blood cells, types of white blood cells, plasma, bone marrow, video on bone marrow, and the bibliography.
What is blood? Blood is a fluid that delivers the nutrients, oxygen, and cells. Blood is made out of several components. Those several components are hemoglobin, cells such as red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. Blood contains antibodies, nutrients, cells, white, red, and platelets. There is about 1.2 to 1.5 gallons of blood in your body. The scientific name for the formation of blood is called hematopoiesis.
Blood disorders. There are many things that can go wrong with blood. One thing is blood clots. There are also other cancers such as leukemia, lymphoma, and myeloma. There are also some blood disorders like anemia and bleeding, such as hemophilia. Mild anemia won't cause any symptoms, but severe anemia can cause fatigue, pale skin, and breath exertion.
This is a little video. Me and Jason found this one.
Yeah.
It was really good because we actually thought that it showed everything, whether in some videos it showed just like the cells moving. So yeah.
So this is mostly about blood cells and
Blood
what they do.
is the largest organ in our body.
We don't need
10
this.
pints of life force, coursing through thousands of miles of arteries, veins, and capillaries. Those blood vessels carry blood to every other organ, keeping them functioning and thriving. Our red blood cells carry oxygen and nutrients. Our platelets stop bleeding and help to heal our wounds. Our white cells protect us against infection. And the yellow liquid plasma in which they are suspended carries an array of proteins that regulate bleeding and clotting.
So that's the video. It's just an intro to what cells do, really. Red blood cells deliver oxygen from your lungs to the rest of the tissues and organs throughout the body. It does that through the use of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is this iron-rich protein in the red blood cell that delivers it somewhat carries the oxygen throughout the blood to the lungs and the rest of the body. That process is the circulatory system, and though the circulatory system is much more complex than that, that's not really our project. Red blood cells live for at least 120 days, roughly 17 weeks. And this is surprising, if you use density to estimate the amount of cells in your body, you'd come up with about 724 trillion cells.
About red blood cells. The red blood cells give oxygen and nutrients. Red blood cells are the most common blood cell in your body. Hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells that make them red. Foods rich in iron help you maintain healthy red blood cells. Vitamins are also necessary to build healthy red blood cells. These include vitamin E, which are found in foods such as like dark green vegetables, nuts, seeds, and mango and avocado. These are some.
These are pictures of the cells in our body. These here, those are all white blood cells. Monocytes, lymphocytes, neutrophil, I can't pronounce that one, basophil, and macrophages. And then these two, that's red blood cell, I can't pronounce the scientific name for red blood cell, and platelets.
these are like the scientific names for them, right? What?
Platelets? He'll explain later. And then same idea here, except we have the blood vessel, and then there's something added. It's the yellow liquid plasma, if you heard in the video, and the white blood cells, red blood cells, and the platelets.
We thought this picture actually really captured the real thing.
Except it's animated.
Yeah.
This Y-shaped protein is an antibody produced by plasma cells that is used in the immune system to identify and neutralize foreign objects such as bacteria and viruses. Like it neutralizes them, it kind of destroys them, just like white blood cells.
Yeah. About platelets. The platelets help cure wounds and stop bleeding. The most common disorder of platelets function is caused by aspirin, and like my mom actually told us this, that aspirin is like something that neutralizes the like the blood, I think. And aspirin blocks one of those steps required for platelets to stick together. Like when they're maturing in the bone marrow, we'll get to that. They're sticking together and when they're on their way to get into the blood stream, then all of them are sticking together. We have a video that shows them sticking together. Platelets are not a white blood cell or a red blood cell. They're actually neutral, so like half and half. They are fragments or pieces of other cells in the body. The average lifespan of a platelet is 5 to 9 days, but that's not really long, so your body continues to make them.
Continuously.
White blood cells. White blood cells are cells of the immune system involved in defending the body against materials. White blood cells live for 3 to 4 days in the human body. White blood cells are the cell of the immune system. Yeah, we accidentally actually put that in twice. There are 5 diverse types of leukocytes. It's lymphocytes exist.
Types of white blood cells. So basophil, we didn't get all of them, but basophil is one. They have a phagocytory capability. The main function is secreting substances and which mediate the hypersensitivity reaction in the blood. Lymphocytes are the main constituents of the immune system, which is a defense against the attack of microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protista. Lymphocytes yield antibodies and arrange them on their membrane. Monocytes are the prosecutors of macrophages. Like they're the thing that's before macrophages. They happen before the macrophages. They're larger blood cells which, after attaining maturity in the bone marrow, enter the blood circulation where they stay for about 24 to 36 hours.
That's about 1
to 1.5 days.
About plasma. Blood plasma is the pale yellow liquid component of blood that normally goes to cells in suspension, so like in a flow, sort of. It makes up about 55% of the body's total blood volume. It is mostly water, up to 95% volume, and contains dissolvable proteins. Dissolve. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so some of the dissolved protein is serum albans, globulin.
Read this like that.
Globulin.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
read it.
you wanna read them.
Yeah.
Glucose.
Okay. So the bone.
This is the bone marrow. In your bones. The bone marrow is the center of the bone marrow of the bone. It's like inside it's very soft and spongy. It's where all these cells are made. Not like platelets. It's not as important to make as the rest, but they also make, the bone marrow also produces platelets.
This is a video.
This is a video
on how they're made. It has some additional things that are not really related to our project. Well, they sort of are,
the
but
general idea is
about how.
mostly what it is.
Our body is constantly making new blood cells. Billions of white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets are produced every day to replace older cells that die, either during normal processes or because of illness. This process by which new blood cells are created is called hematopoiesis. Blood cells in the body, including the white cells, are made in the bone marrow, which is the soft, spongy material in the center of the bones. Blood cells are created from a group of master cells called stem cells, which also live within the bone marrow. These stem cells have the ability to divide and produce all the different types of blood cells. The white blood cells are an important part of our body's immune system. Granulocytes are a special group of white blood cells that play an extremely important role in protecting the body against infections. Neutrophils are a special class of granulocytes that are able to chase, engulf, and digest the bacteria that can cause infections. Neutrophil development in the bone marrow takes approximately 10 days. Mature neutrophils are released into the blood where they survive for only 3 to 6 hours.
So this is the
Because
process
mature
of
neutrophils are so
not all of them,
short-lived.
but just neutrophils.
So you see how right there how they're like all sticking together. That's what we talked about when we talked about the white blood cells. How they have platelets, which is the process of how they have to stick together, and aspirin blocks that.
Yeah. Aspirin is the thing that prevents that from happening.
Yeah.
And they die off.
The bone marrow constantly produces large numbers of neutrophils to meet the body's needs. Our body makes natural proteins that can signal the stem cell to start making cells that will eventually develop as neutrophils. One of the important proteins in this process is called granulocyte colony stimulating factor, or GCSF. The GCSF protein can work on the cells in the bone marrow that eventually become neutrophils and signal that they should start becoming neutrophils. The entire process by which stem cells develop into mature neutrophils can take about 10 days and includes 2 phases. During the first phase, the stem cells and their offspring can divide as they develop and mature.
See how they're duplicating? That's what.
That's it. I earlier I couldn't find the word, but the word is duplicate. And what's really what I noticed is what's really fascinating is that you know how you don't ask your stomach to churn and stuff, and you don't ask your blood to flow. This is really cool. It's something that's happening inside of something else. Like you're not telling your bone marrow to make the cells. It's and you're not telling them you're not telling the cells to duplicate. It's like the cells have a mind of their own, but they don't. It's really cool.
Yeah. So I guess that's really enough. This is our bibliography. We used the reason why there's Amazon. You probably are wondering that. Is because we bought a slide from Amazon.
Blood smear.
Yeah, we're gonna show it to you probably on Wednesday or Thursday.
No, not Wednesday.
Thursday?
Probably tomorrow afternoon. Because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we have a blood slide like in microscopes that
I'll show
you
you.
guys can look at. Okay.
So,
Currently we have 4 minutes.
it's questions and well, can we do?
You want to do a donut? Just
Can we do the
Do
test?
it?
The
Yeah,
test.
sure.
Okay.
So,
we have a little test we want to pass out. Well, it's
Current, you have 4 minutes.
yeah. Okay. Sorry, try and do it really quick.
That's the only time you're going to have.
No, they can like take it home.
Yeah.
And then just bring it tomorrow or Thursday.
Do you have to?
Hmm?
Do you have to?
Well,
If you want a donut.
if you want a chance again. Yeah.
Still donut.
Well, don't blame me, okay?
Kurrun's idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Kurrun always comes up with the idea.
Yeah. Let me guess. It was Current's idea.
Yeah. He always